Hi, it's Paula. We're here. Whoever holds the stone, here's the stone. I'm here with Richard and Jill and Bill, and of course my son Tom on drums. And Celeste can't join us tonight, but I had an answer to her question. I read something biblical about the tribes of Benjamin and how the other tribes got them wives after they promised God they wouldn't give them any of their wives. And it was a crazy story, but she wanted to know what the tribe of Benjamin did in the first place that was against the rules. And so the conflict began when a Levite and his concubine were traveling through the Benjamite city of Gibeah. While staying with an old man, the house was surrounded by a mob of worthless fellows from the city who demanded to sexually assault the Levite. Instead, the Levite's concubine was pushed out to them. I love the Bible. She was gang raped and abused throughout the night and died from the trauma. The Levite cut his concubine's body into 12 pieces and sent them to all the tribes of Israel to illustrate the severity of the crime. Like, he's the one that pushed her out in the first place. Outraged, the other 11 tribes gathered at Mizpah and demanded that the tribe of Benjamin hand over the men of Gibeah to be put to death. Benjamin refused, choosing instead to go to war against the rest of Israel to protect the criminals. And that's why the rest of the tribes said, we're not giving you any more women. And that's why and then...
That's the only reason?
That's the only reason? We're not giving you any more women. So they killed off all the women, and then they couldn't have any more women. And then those people at Jabesh Gilead, those were Israelites too. They went in and they killed them because they didn't participate in the war against the Benjamites. What a bunch of assholes.
Agree.
What the hell, man? This is the book that this is the religion that Christians, Jews, and Muslims all follow, the Old Testament, and this is not good. Anyway, that was why, Celeste, in case you watched the show, that's why that happened.
Protecting criminals, that's something new.
No,
you're not familiar with that going on right now.
No, of course.
It's not a current situation.
Of course it is, but this is the whole
So they learned it from
they learned it from the best.
10,000 in the BCE.
So the Bible, that part of the Bible has just changed my view on that Netflix documentary on P. Diddy.
On P. Diddy? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he was just being biblical.
Yeah, that's right. He was following the Bible. So I'm really getting a lot out of this time I'm reading it. This is like the fourth time I'm reading it. I'm getting a lot more out of it. For some reason, I'm understanding the nuances more. I think because I'm looking things up and finding out about it. And so I think I'm glad that I decided to do this. It's a tough read a lot, but gang rapes, cutting in pieces, sending them to all the other tribes.
So was it written for propaganda? Is that what you think? Or do you think it was for entertainment?
No, it was written
or control.
The reason it was written is a historical, it was written after the fact as a historical document to bind the people together.
Lori added some humor.
No, yeah. Thank you, Lori. We do appreciate you. The Vegemites. Yeah, well, they do mention them in that one song, don't they?
The Vegemite sandwich?
The Vegemite sandwich.
So the cannibals, too.
So anyway, that's my answer to that question, and I'm really glad. I really should bring something every week that I've read that
from
just
the Bible
astounds me with the violence and the debauchery. That's why Sodom and Gomorrah went down, because the angels went over to the guy who fled Sodom and Lot. They went to Lot's. The angels were at Lot's house, and the neighbors are knocking on the door saying, "We want to go into these men. Send them out to us." And Lot says, "No, I'll give you my daughters." you know, and then the daughters, when they left Sodom and Gomorrah. The daughters were in a cave with the father, and they got the father drunk. They said, "There's no more people in the world. We have to have sex with our father in order to propagate." So they got him drunk and raped him.
So is that how Utah began?
Is that how what?
Utah,
Utah.
Salt Lake City.
All right, so I'm done. I'm done with my ranting on the Bible right now. Richard, we all want to know about this AI for the hospital.
Okay. So I like the podcast of Eric Topol. He's a doctor, and he always talks about his practice.
All right.
And he said, whenever he's teaching students, he will do what is often the case. He'll say, here's a patient's symptoms, give me your diagnosis. That's
Okay.
a typical thing you say to
Yeah.
the students. Then he'll say, now let's ask AI. Here's the symptoms, what's your diagnosis? And then he compares what the AI says to what the students say. He said, I'm a big fan of AI. He said, I've seen it change each year. It gets better and better and better. And then the doctor he was talking to was from the Mayo Clinic. And he said, okay, at the Mayo Clinic, we have something that we're working on right now, and I'd like to show it to you. And he shows them, you know how AI can create a person, an image?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen it on the Super Bowl commercials. They have actual
Oh,
AI,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
AI people. So this person who teaches at the Mayo Clinic, he also sees patients. So he had the AI create an AI version of him. And then he says to his patients, okay, here's the link to the Mayo Clinic AI. Whenever you're having a problem, ask the AI first. So what they do is they log into it, and then this synthetic version of a friendly face, the
Yeah.
doctor who they know,
Right.
says, now tell me, what are your symptoms? And he goes through the checklist, right, of all the things that they
Yeah.
have. And then he finishes by saying, here's what I think is the problem. But to make sure, I want you to come into the office tomorrow. Now, the patient has an idea as to what they're getting into when they come the next day,
Yeah.
and the physician can then sign off on it. He said, furthermore, we don't use the same AI at the Mayo Clinic that they use amongst the general public. We have our own, which is just for medical cases around the whole world. You know, there's
Yeah.
nothing there about Facebook, nothing there
Yeah.
about any current events, politics.
Yeah. Nothing that be picked up
Never.
from a bad site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And he says that it's remarkably accurate. But he said this is going to become the future.
That's how I found my new medication for fibromyalgia, by asking AI if there was anything new on the market that would assist with my pain, and so I found a new drug, and I talked to my doctor about it. He looked it up. He gave me the go ahead, but I have to pay for it out of pocket because it hasn't. They don't make this drug is for people who are hooked on narcotics. But they give 100 milligrams to those people to keep them off narcotics, right?
You mean it's got nothing to do with fibromyalgia?
Yeah, just-
At that
Hey,
dosage.
okay.
I see.
Okay, so at 1.5 milligrams, it helps lower nerve pain. It not the pain, nerve inflammation. It takes the inflammation out of your nervous system. It takes about 3 months, but it's 1.5 milligrams as opposed to 100 milligrams.
I see.
And they
So-
only make 100 milligram capsules, you know. So you have to go to a drugstore where they're willing to make it up for you,
I see.
but then you have to, my insurance company won't pay for it. So I have to pay for it out. It's only $30. So I'm not, you know, it's not horrible.
And then you have they do make it up
They
for you.
make
Look
it
it
for me.
And a 100 milligram tablet, and if you're only taking a 1.5 milligram dosage,
That'd be
that's
tiny.
that's like 90 days. Yeah, that's a 90-day supply, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they're probably overcharging me, but
That's like licking the pill.
in
once.
order, well,
For
that's
90
it's the
days.
same thing with cyclobenzaprine. Cyclobenzaprine is a muscle relaxer, and they use it at, like in 10 milligrams to relax muscle tension. I take 2.5 grams, milligrams at night to sleep. But I have to cut the pill in in 2 actually. It's a little pill, tiny. It's because they only make 5 milligram. That's the smallest dose.
Those inert ingredients now are very expensive. They can't make the pill larger just to make it easier to handle. And
Well, all I can say.
I take one that's it's the size of a head of a pin, basically.
All I can say is I'm hoping. I don't know yet. It's only been a couple weeks since I've been on this new medication, but I'm hopeful because there's been good results. And the druggist said people come back every month for him to make up the pill. So a lot of people are trying it.
So does he use a little tiny blade and just cut it? Or?
No, it's a capsule, and there's grains in there. I don't know. I don't know.
So
how
he
to-
puts each grain individually in something else?
into a capsule. So there's not all pharmacies are compounding pharmacies. So the one in Kenmore is a compounding pharmacy, and so they will do that. The other pharmacies don't do that.
Now, going back to the AI, the actual diagnosis, do you think that leads to a preordained thinking when you walk in to see the clinician the next day that it's already been resolved, both the clinician and you have already, or is there some, or do you think, that you walk in and there's another reevaluation, whether this has all been, whether all the information you provided to the virtual clinician was accurate, maybe you omitted something, maybe, your self-diagnosis was not, oh yeah, I'm not flushing, and the doctor looks at you and says, oh man, you're about as red as a beet, and it's,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
but the doctors would know what questions to ask.
well, yeah, but I think, you're coming now you're coming into to see the clinician with the preordained idea of what the situation is, and those things tend to manifest themselves then. I mean, and then it's like everybody works back to make that diagnosis to be the accurate diagnosis. It's no longer, okay, we're going to evaluate all these different
Physicians have egos. They would want to prove AI.
What I think
incorrect.
that happens in any situation. Once the decision's made, then everybody works to make sure that's the right decision.
Right.
That decision.
Yeah,
that
I would
decision
hope
stand.
so.
No, not that it's the right decision. Make sure that decision stands. That
Yeah.
nobody questions it anymore. That was made. This is not to be. It's not to be questioned, regardless of whether there's new data points, new. Every time I think that you approach something with a preordained idea or pre-established idea of what the situation is, that's when you start getting into discounting or ignoring other factors, and it's
Yeah. Well, and like
how long
okay.
how long can you keep an open mind?
My mother, when I would take my mother to the doctor, my mother would lie.
That's exactly the case.
But the thing is,
What'd she lie about?
well, she would want the doctor to think she was hale and hearty. I'm strong. I don't have to take medication. I'm good. But
So was she male?
no.
That's a guy thing.
But the thing is, I think nobody knows my body better than I've been living in this body for a long time. Nobody knows when there's been a change. Nobody knows
Right.
where the pain exactly is. So if I'm a good reporter, and not everybody is, but if I'm a good reporter and I'm telling AI exactly what I'm experiencing, my doctor might want to double check and see if I checked the wrong box next to high blood pressure. But my doctor does not. Unfortunately, there's nothing where we can go like this and touch somebody and say, "Oh, I feel that pain in your knee. That's
Well-
really bad." You got to be a good reporter.
You've got to be perfectly honest to your clinician that what the situation.
Absolutely.
And like you said, your mother was not that,
No.
But to talk to some, I would like to think that the clinician, if you walk in and talk to him in person, might understand. I think you shouldn't need, you don't needn't be that way. You don't have to be protective of the situation. I'm here for you. If you can lie to the A1 and the virtual clinician right through your teeth, and nobody's going to know the difference. It's not going to be able to diagnose to say, "Oh, you're lying to me," or that. Are you sure it's that? Where's your? It might ask you a bunch of questions. That's the whole the interactive AI idea. It's how's your pain? The same thing that the clinician might do.
Yeah.
Is it 6 to 10 on the scale or whatever?
I hate those scales.
But nonetheless, the actual person is going to be better able to better evaluate the overall truthfulness of what you're saying, and give you a better diagnosis than the machine will ever be able to do, because the machine's only reliant on what you're telling it, not what some independent or objective or third party is observing.
I can see, like, as you're saying this, I'm thinking, I know people who are hypochondriacs and who could tell that AI a bunch of stuff that they think is wrong with them, but is really not, because they believe they have all the, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
in that case, it would be a disconnect. But for logical, normal, nice people who want to be helped,
That's an idealized individual.
what do you think about this, Richard?
I think they're going on the right path.
No, I'm not going to say they're not the right path. I'm just going to say that I have misgivings. To me, it's well, of course, I'm also as old as I am.
But what about those people who are hypochondriacs?
Well, the doctor still has to sign off on it.
Exactly. So the
Yeah.
doctor will.
So you have to
Yeah.
you have to see a clinician. But I mean, a lot of these telehealth sites now are making diagnoses, and then you're going in to see your primary physician with the telehealth's made a diagnosis.
But is it a telehealth person, or is it a telehealth AI?
telehealth? Well, I would think it's telehealth AI. I mean, you're
Yeah, because on telehealth, a lot of times, especially, they have mental health telehealth, and it's an actual person that you sit and talk to on the screen. I'm assuming it's
2 years ago, my doctor encouraged me to try it. And so when I had something in my eye,
yeah,
and when it didn't go away for 2 days, I used telehealth.
yeah. And how did that work?
Not good.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be.
She asked me a bunch of questions, and then she said, "You're not going to like my diagnosis." I said, "Let's hear it. Go to an emergency room." He said, "This is something you got to see in person."
Did you have something stuck in your eye?
Yeah,
No. It must have been disconcerting.
it was. It's because it's constantly bugging you, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so would you trust AI to make a diagnosis on you?
A preliminary one.
Oh, right. That's a good way to put it. Preliminary.
Am I pronouncing that right?
No, I can't. It's a word that's got too many syllables, and my mouth gets confused.
Mine's confused.
Well, now you're talking. Why you mentioned the Mayo Clinic kind of thing? Suppose you approach the Mayo AI, say in Buffalo here. It gave you a diagnosis. Now you go in to see your clinician here in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you present him with that diagnosis?
Oh, he already saw it before you walk in.
Well, wait a minute.
Things are connected.
You can't get in to see the AI Mayo Clinic thing unless you are a patient.
So you have to be a patient with the Mayo.
Right, because the first thing the
And
AI
they
does
share
is
everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It references your bio.
bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure, but Yeah. So
All health records are connected.
I, just like all bones are connected. We,
Kind of like we used to have phone books with our addresses and phone numbers.
Mhm.
Now they have health records like that online.
yeah, everything is like that. So
But you can't get a phone number.
So I think we're heading in that direction. I don't think we have a choice, to tell you the truth. I mean, our files are all electronically connected. You know, you are an entity. You know, your medical file is an entity that's connected to all of the things that you have done, no matter what doctor you go to. So, I mean, you think that's going to happen with other things as well as we go on into the future?
Sure, a psychological profile of you. That's pretty much what Facebook and,
Oh yeah.
and YouTube do right now.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they know what they know your interests, and they know who you are and what you
And
what
every
you're,
every ad you've ever looked at.
yeah.
Oh.
So speaking of ads, were there any that stuck out to you from yesterday, the Super Bowl?
I just started watching them. I thought that hair one was creepy.
I don't remember. You know what? Greg watched,
Oh yes, I saw that one. I didn't
Wasn't
see
that
all of them.
creepy?
That was creepy.
Greg watched the whole game with the sound off.
Yeah.
So when the commercials came on, you know, I could see the visuals,
Yeah.
but I couldn't hear what they were saying or anything. So it was a little.
Yeah, somebody wanted to. She wasn't going to get another haircut until the Sabres won and the Bills were in the playoffs or something.
What are you referring to? Is that a commercial?
The hair
The
commercial.
creepy hair.
No, the creepy hair has to do with, you know, those clippers that are automatic and you can give yourself a haircut.
All right.
And so it shows a guy and he's doing his arms and he's got a hairy back, so he's doing his back, and all the hair is falling to the floor and it's talking to him,
Ew, I didn't see that one.
right?
Well, I did not see any of them. I don't
Yeah.
watch the game. I don't need to invest that kind of.
I used to just watch the commercials. I mean, back in the 90s, the commercials were like,
Well, this was
People
the,
spent
this
way
is
too
the
much on
first
them.
Super Bowl that had AI commercials, and it makes you wonder: is the industry really trying to?
Get us used to it. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, get used to it. It's
Oh,
here.
Oh, it's here. I mean, it's
Did you see the halftime show?
yeah, do you,
Oh, I thought it was great. I loved it. I loved it.
Can you imagine what the choreographer had to
Oh
do?
my God.
Did you see that?
I don't.
What,
I didn't
it's
watch
here,
the game
shake
at
your
all.
ass, here, grab yourself.
I don't like to
No,
invest that
it was
much emotional
great.
energy.
But
It
it had
was-
that
I
nice
mean,
course
they-
AC like walked.
They wheeled out this entire cornfield in the middle of the stadium.
Yeah, I
And he's-
liked that. I didn't like the preview, you know, when they were showing the stuff beforehand.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was unnecessary.
Well, I just thought it was very exciting, very
fun.
dramatic.
Boy,
very
when he fell through the
theatrical.
roof.
He fell through the roof.
that was well coordinated.
that
I mean,
was
there had to be
so
many.
when he gave that little kid
many
his
rehearsals.
They
award.
gave the kid his Grammy.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! I thought it was inspired. I was so excited by it. I thought, you know,
When he gave the little boy the Grammy, he had an earpiece in. And all I'm thinking is there's some director telling him, okay, just stand there. It's okay. Look happy. Look happy that you have it. No, keep holding it. 'Cause somebody was giving him direction.
Could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
Could
what
be.
the earpiece was
Yeah,
for.
he-
Because
but
he
it
didn't have a
was-
hearing aid at 6.
yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
The whole thing was very dynamic.
It was,
How all the
It was
dancers
rehearsed.
danced in
Oh,
sync.
of course, yeah.
You know, that was amazing.
well, they would have to dance and sing.
Yeah,
It
I
goes
know,
with the
but
music.
it was so many people on that stage. It was a cast of thousands.
It was rehearsed.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, so I thought he really put it over the top for all the dissenters that were
And he's really pushing wedding. He wants his music at weddings.
that
All those wedding cakes
No.
and everything.
They had an actual
that
wedding.
actually was a wedding. That woman and man got married on stage while he was singing.
That was real?
That was
Yeah.
real.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I just found that out this morning. But yeah,
No way.
yeah, they got married. They got married on stage. And I thought, you know, God bless America, and then mentioning all the countries that are in America, you know, like South America, Central America, you know.
That didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
So it's like he's saying, and when I say America, I mean America.
Yes.
He starts listing all the
He
countries.
listed all the countries that are in America,
Oh.
Central America, Canada. He listed.
Yeah.
Mexico.
No wonders the commander-in-chief was so upset by the whole thing, and
Oh,
his,
yeah,
his review was not quite as gracious as your reviews
Why
are.
would you have read that?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
He doesn't like anything.
You got
I couldn't.
It was in Spanish, and he was.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's what he said. Nobody understood what he said. Even though there's I forgot how many millions of people speak Spanish in the United States, you know, alone, without the fact.
I don't
plus,
speak Spanish. I couldn't understand what he said.
Plus all of the people.
I know little words.
Plus all of the people around the world who are watching it. They had like cameras at these different venues where people were watching it all around the world, and they are pushing that. The NFL is pushing it by having games in other countries. You know, they're trying to expand, of course, because we're America. That's what we do.
We should have a football team in Puerto Rico, Alaska, and Hawaii.
Well, I don't know if. I mean, I don't know if they're even interested, but
Probably not.
but anyway, I was very. I thought it was exciting. And I made Greg turn the sound on for that. Yeah, sorry, Greg. We got to hear the sound on. But all right, so why don't you pick something on your?
You have anything you want me to talk about?
Not really. I mean, you know, some of the topics were like the swimmer. I didn't really know what you were referencing there.
Okay. So in 1959, this short story came out. And it defined the writer's career from that point on. So in other words, wherever he would go to give a talk or if he taught a class, people would always ask him, tell us about the swimmer, right? So here's the story. So a man leaves his downtown office, and it's 1964. I guess that's when the story was written. He's driving to his middle-class suburban home. It's a beautiful sunny day, and he decides, I'm going to park my car at the edge of the subdivision, and I'm going to swim home.
Oh,
I'm going to. Everybody's got a pool in their
there's
backyard.
a movie. There's a movie, right?
Based on
Yeah.
on a story, and so I'm going to swim from pool to pool to pool, and it's a fascinating story. So, at each house, as soon as he dives in the pool, the people come out to see who dove in. Oh, it's Mr. So and So. Here, have a drink, and they sit down and they talk with him. And as he goes further and further closer to his house, a storm develops. And each house, as the weather gets worse, gets less and less friendly. Like, what are you doing here? Things like that, you know? And people start to say things to him that he does not know himself. Like, how are things going with your house now? And he's baffled, like, what are you talking about? How are things going with my house? In fact, he has a lover in the neighborhood. And when he goes in her pool and she comes out, she doesn't even act like he means anything to her. So he finally reaches his home. It's raining by now. And the door is locked. And he looks inside. And all the furniture is gone. And there's a for sale sign on the front lawn. What's your interpretation of the story? This is what the students always ask him when he teaches it in class.
It's a life thing. I mean, it's moving through life. I mean, that would be mine. It's an allegory for, you know, a life living or living a life, if you will. I don't know.
Like life flashing in front of your eyes.
No. Basically,
Flashing.
starting with birth, the first pool. I mean, and progressing to a complete emptiness. I mean, you've got the empty house, so yeah, to me, it's a life story. I
That's
mean,
interesting.
things become more as you age. Things become more complicated, more difficult.
Damn it if he's not
more-
right. That's good. I like it.
So here's John Cheever's interpretation, which might not be the right one. As we know, the author doesn't have the final say anymore. In reality, this guy is sitting in a empty rented apartment, and he's been in a drunken reverie.
I was going to say drugs.
And he's thinking and reliving how his life has deteriorated as a result of his alcoholism. Notice they keep giving him drinks.
Drinks.
Oh, yeah.
And then as he gets closer to his house, they don't even want to give him drinks anymore. Each pool symbolizes a different chapter in how alcoholism ruined his life.
Is that
I
why
don't
you
know.
don't
I
wanna
like
get a
Bill's
pool?
better.
I don't know.
Well, I can. I guess I,
I mean,
can see that.
actually,
Well,
the allegory
it's
carries
the
through
life
anyway.
of
It's
an
a progression.
alcoholic.
Yeah,
It's
right.
progression.
Right, but I like
The life.
this.
You were saying it was of life.
Yeah.
This
To
idea
death, which
toward you're
alcoholism-
getting toward the end of your life, and more and more things are happening that are maybe negative, and like your friends are dying and things are happening. So yeah, I can see that's a perfect picture of that story. But also the alcohol, yeah, of course we all know what alcohol can do to your life if you're abusing it. So
So when they made the movie, who do you think Hollywood wanted to play the swimmer?
That's a good question.
Burt Lancaster.
well, it was Burt Lancaster. They did get him. Did he have an alcohol problem?
No, but he has that vibrancy.
Yeah.
Wait, what year was this? Like how-
64.
Oh, okay. But,
I
so,
remember
like-
seeing it, but I didn't remember the trajectory.
so when he would have been in his 30s or something?
I don't know, probably.
40s?
When was he at his peak? Probably in the 60s.
Yeah, I don't know how old Burt Lancaster. Should
I
I,
never
look it up?
followed Burt Lancaster.
Burt Lancaster. Well, it was a good movie. It was really interesting.
I've never seen it.
No.
No, I mean it's not something. It's not something that Greg showed it to me because Greg had seen it before and he thought I would enjoy it. So I don't know. Okay. What year was Burt Lancaster born? 1913.
Oh,
So if
that
it's
was
in the 60s,
he'd be 50
He was
something.
50
in
Yeah.
his 50s.
and still in good shape.
yeah, he was in good shape because he was basically in a bathing suit the whole time.
He was probably in his 60s. People lied about their ages back then.
Well, if he was,
Easy.
you got just add his birthday, add 50. Or I should
But
say,
I'm saying he
so
probably
if he was
lied
born
about.
in 1914,
No, 1913.
But
you-
he
you
was probably
subtract-
born in
so in
1903.
in 64.
You
Oh, you mean he
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh.
born?
He probably lied about his age because a lot of
Oh.
actors
But-
of the golden age
Yeah, I don't know.
in the
It-
60s and 70s were
it's-
easily lied.
yeah, I don't know, but it does say he was born in 1913. It was a year before my father.
Hmm.
My father was dead by that time. 64. He died in 64. So I guess it was in better. Burt Lancaster was in better shape.
That's an interesting analogy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that with movie stars. They compare them to their own age.
I would believe that, yeah.
I wonder how many women have compared themselves to Sophia Loren.
Oh,
She was in her 70s and had so much plastic surgery done.
oh, did she
Did
have a lot?
Oh, an immense amount.
Oh, there are so many out there now that. I mean, do you remember how Joan Rivers was before she went?
Oh yeah, Joan Rivers. Well, Joan
And
Rivers.
Goldie Hawn now.
Joan Rivers
lip
did it
injections.
because she was never very attractive, and she was always trying to be more
Well,
classically
I have no idea
attractive.
what she looked like before all of that.
Yeah, yeah. I
She
remember
probably
her.
wasn't as bad as she thought.
But yeah, so the plastics. I guess when you're in the limelight like that,
Hmm.
you try to hang on to that as long as you can.
Hmm.
But there has to come a certain point. There was a guy that I worked with, and he had lots of plastic surgery. He looked very plastic. And they pulled his face back so far that his beard was growing out of his ears. It was bad.
Well, you know that movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane,
Yes.
where Betty Davis and Joan Crawford were in the same movie?
Yeah.
frequently Betty Davis said to Joan Crawford, Joan, you're trying too hard to play someone who's not your age. Do what I do. Play your age.
Mm-hmm.
They had these different philosophies. Because,
Yeah.
you know, Betty Davis never got any plastic surgery.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, you know, it's hard. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say it's brave not to, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
You like, look at, who was that woman who was on Baywatch?
Anderson.
Pamela Anderson.
Oh my God, I saw a
She
picture
let
of
it.
her recently.
She let it go. She said, "No, I'm not doing that anymore." And she looks her age.
But when she was, I mean, anybody who got those lip injections, if you keep on stretching here, when they go down, you're going to have wrinkles. So every time that stuff shrinks. So every time you get it, you know, when the wrinkles come, you have to get a little bit more and a little bit more. That's why there's all these actresses with, I don't know what you call those lips, you know, where they're
Balloon.
so thick.
Balloon lips.
Oh my God, like Goldie Hawn.
Well, yeah, and I think I can understand
I don't think
when
they
you've
knew back
made
then.
when you've made your money and you're known as this thing, this specific thing. I can see wanting to hold on to it, but I do applaud people who say, like,
Jane
play your
Fonda's
own
had
age.
a lot of surgery.
Yeah, Jane Fonda.
But she's also aged.
Jane Fonda has a lot to say about that too. She's got a lot of regrets about that surgery. So,
But the thing is, she's not getting a nip or a tuck is one thing. Expecting to stay 27 for the rest of your life is ridiculous.
yeah, well, I mean, yes, I agree with that, but I can understand why and a person in that position would want that, would want to try to hold it off as long as possible.
Well-
Look at Cher. She's out there. She's still out there singing, and
I don't think she's trying to be younger. I think she's just trying to be what she wants to be.
she's had lots of plastic surgery.
Well, yes.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, tons.
You are
But-
joking, right?
Well, I just knew she was very much into physical fitness, wasn't she?
But
She
She
but
does exercise tapes.
yeah, but
and-
but your face is different. I mean, you can exercise your face, but you're still gonna.
Her
you know,
body's different too.
Yeah. So I mean, but I have mixed feelings about it because I think we just need to embrace whatever age we're at.
You can't change it, so yeah, you might as well embrace it. I
But the
think.
Yeah,
thing
you
is,
can't change it.
Okay, a nip or a tuck here or there is no different than a tattoo or a piercing.
Well,
But I've seen people go overboard on piercings and tattoos too.
I have friends. My friend Lorraine had some kind of condition where her eyelids were drooping so much she couldn't see. You know, like they were drooping, and so she had only like these little slits that she could see through. She had her eyes lifted. I have two friends that had that done for the same reason, and it doesn't make her look different. It just helps her.
It must make her look a little
bit.
nicer, and she can see better.
Yeah, she can see better. Exactly.
Well, yeah, then it's
That's
more of a
different than
necessity
some of
or
those-
Yeah.
a medical. It's not a
There are
by
overdone
choice.
things, and there are little nip and
has-
tucks that.
Yeah.
a medical
I mean-
rationale.
So, how do you feel about that? Do you think people should try to stay young looking as long as possible, even if it involves surgery?
No,
No.
just the opposite. You should embrace the decade that you're in.
I think so too. I mean, I like.
Okay, I'm going to defend that. Not
Yeah.
that I'm running out and getting any, but people who color their hair.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they color their hair because that's what they want to look like. I can understand people like getting tattoos or whatever, if they want to change something.
yeah,
But trying to be 25 or whatever is different.
yeah. I am of the mind that I had a really, like I've said this before on the show, I've had a really long turn. I had a really long turn as a young woman. I was young for a long time. I'm not young anymore, So I'm okay with that.
I sent Paula a photo of Lori Robinson, who was here a couple days ago. You know who that is?
No.
She's the head of the Erie and Niagara County League of Women Voters.
Okay.
What a vibrant woman! Holy cow!
Yeah.
Doesn't she look
She
remarkable?
looks she looks great. You could see she's lively. You can tell she's got a lot of life.
Yeah,
in her.
she's in her 60s. You could tell she's in her 60s, but boy, does she give off an energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I really, I'm glad that you sent me that picture because she did have an aura, you know, and a lot of people do. I look at some people in their 80s and 90s and they're lively and fun to talk to. And, you know,
It's because they're happy.
I'm hoping to be there.
You have a friend from out of town who came on a show who had that same energetic vibe.
It was from, were they on video or were they,
They came on the show,
on the
not
sh-
on Hold a Stone, but on, I think it was Greg's show.
oh, on Greg's show. Yeah. It's possible. I don't remember who it was, but I've kept, you know, I've
Many people.
I've lived a lot of places, and I have met people that I felt a kinship with, you know, and I've kept them, but I don't see them, you know. Like I have a friend in Arizona, Carrie, who I adore, but I don't see her. She's on my Facebook page, but that's about it. But if she would come here, I'd bring her here. You'd like her. Her uncle is Yasker from Yasker Farm. So that's
There we
where
go.
that's
What
where
is Yasker
Woodstock
Farm?
that's where Woodstock
Oh,
was held.
that's
yeah.
right.
So her uncle was Yasker from Yasker Farm. So that's her claim to fame. All right. So what is on your mind, Bill?
HIPAA.
HIPAA. You want to talk about HIPAA?
Well, we were talking about
You're not
Mayo.
supposed to talk about HIPAA.
I know we're not supposed to talk about HIPAA. We talk only because it's
What does each letter stand for?
Health Information Privacy and Protection Act. HIPAA.
Okay.
Yeah, you had the paralegal company. I would assume you would know that.
I mean, it only because it's been of a kind of a recent situation.
But let's not talk about that.
Well, you can't talk about it. That's what HIPAA is all about. Is you can't talk about it.
I'm talking about the situation.
You know, no, I'm not. I'm not putting any specifics in. I want to talk about the law itself or the program itself, and people have to understand. You know, people, and basically their concern is.
You're basically getting attacked because they wanted information on somebody.
I mean, they approach it in a positive way, you know, in a caring way, a compassionate way, but it's something that can't be shared, except by those people, the actual patient or the actual health problem, if you will. If you don't want to say he's basically a patient, and other people can't speak to it, and yet people ask, you know, and they're asking very compassionately. They want to, you know, reach out and be helpful in that, but they can't seem to understand that you're not in a position to be able to share that information. And it's...
You mean your own health information?
You can share your own health information with anybody you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
But your proxy...
He
and-
was a healthcare proxy.
okay,
And
all
people
right.
were like
If
saying
you
it's
have
their
th-
right to know what was going
Yeah,
on.
no, you can't. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And we
that's,
didn't have any right to share.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and you're right. You're right to keep your mouth shut because you did the right thing.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. Well, you know, but it's, you know, people had a hard time.
Accepting that they shouldn't know everything.
Yeah, I got a lot of this, you know, we need more transparency.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is not an issue for transparency.
No.
This is not a political issue.
no.
This is not
just-
something to resolve.
I will share with you what I can, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly the case.
Is
Yeah.
the person still alive?
Oh, yeah.
Thank God, yes.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just, and I think that if you are given that trust, you're put into that situation of trust, you did the right thing by not just gabbing away.
No, that's exactly the case. But and that's
A very popular person had an incident. He was healthcare proxy, and
A lot of people
wanted to post
know.
about it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, and I did. I posted about it before Jill said anything. I took it off my page, but it still continued in the big world of the internet because other people had
I mean,
posted
people
on
were
it.
imagining things, making things up basically because they didn't know technically what was going on, and other people demanding that we're keeping like their God-given right of this person's privacy.
Yeah. So
Did they know you were the proxy?
I chose not to identify that.
yeah.
I
I mean, a lot of people
I-
knew, but it didn't matter. It's
Yeah.
none of our business to share.
Yeah,
None
it
of
was-
his business to share, and those of us that were around too. It's
And
like,
if it were me, I would have appreciated your confidentiality.
so
if the person was able to say share, would have been
Yeah.
things would have been shared.
That's different.
so
And the
but
person,
Anyway, I'm glad he's out of the hospital.
yeah,
Yeah. So there's when Greg was sick, when he first got sick,
Yeah.
and he was having lots of problems, I needed people to know because I didn't know if he was going to die.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, and I wanted people to know that they should come and see him. And at the point he said, people are coming over here. They're like saying goodbye like I'm going to die. And I said, no, they're coming over here because they care about you. They wouldn't come over here if they didn't care about you. And they're hanging out with you. And that's good. So, but now, he's grown so much with this condition. He's become so different that he understands now, why I wanted people to know. And he had a lot of people coming over and sitting on the porch with him and hanging out with him, even when we didn't know what was wrong yet. And that's what I wanted for him because he's a person who needs people. I don't need as many people as he does. He needs a lot of people.
Yeah, but he was conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was conscious. I
There's
know.
a difference.
So he is performing. If anybody is listening to this,
Valentine's Day. go see
Valentine's
Greg
Day
Sterles.
at the Ukrainian Center. Greg Bad Ronald will be playing that day, that evening. I don't know what time, but I told him.
What a better way to spend
he
Valentine's Day.
said, what are we going to do Valentine's Day? And I said, you're going to rest until the evening because you're going to be performing, and I know what that does to you. But he's excited. I'm happy for him. I'm hoping he'd every single time he seems to pull himself out of it when he's got to perform. And I love that. So
well, he's a natural for it. That's
I think it's
Rob, we thank you for your comments.
legally, if you're the health proxy, you have a right. Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
we know that the health proxy did
No, it's
know.
people wanting to share.
It's other
wanting him to
people.
share.
they want asking the proxy to share information.
Yeah, with the
With the
public.
general public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's different. So thank you, Rob, for that. But so we have 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Do you have something on your mind, Jill, you'd like to get off your mind? And
We have only 11 minutes. Let's go to another one of your topics, like James Baldwin.
So I was asking Jill. Now I was pregnant before I got married. My mother, my sainted mother, is she was. First of all, she opened my mail from the clinic where I got tested, and that's how she found out I was pregnant. And then, she confronted me when I came home, and she asked me if I knew who the father was, and she had made all these assumptions about me based on the fact that I was pregnant, and it was very traumatic. The whole situation was traumatic. My mother was upset. She called my sisters. They were all upset. I brought shame upon the family. And I'm reading, when I read If Beale Street Could Talk, I can't read it all, it's too long, but there's this beautiful scene where Tish who is pregnant with Fonnie is the main character, and he's in prison. And Tish is his girlfriend, but they were friends all their life, since childhood. And then they ended up in a romantic relationship, and they were planning on getting married. And she's pregnant, and she has to tell her mother. And her mother is so compassionate. Her mother knows already when she's talking to her. And she says, how far along are you? 3 months? And she says, yes, I'm 3 months. How did you know? She says, well, I've been watching and I could tell, and everything's going to be all right, sweetheart. Yeah, we know you're not a bad girl. We know that you love Fonnie. We know that that you wouldn't do anything to hurt us. And then she's got to tell her father. And there's a scene where her father's sitting in the chair, and she's got her head she's sitting on the floor, and she's got his head on her knee, and he's stroking her head. And I'm thinking, where is this mythological family? Why wasn't it my family? Because, this father is so kind. And then, of course, the mother breaks out this bottle of a very expensive bourbon or something that she had from the time she was a singer in her youth. And she brings it out and she pours little glasses. And she says to the father and the sister to announce this pregnancy, we're having a toast to new life. Our daughter's bringing new life into the world. At first the father is nervous and he says, are you sure you want the baby? And she says, Daddy, of course I want the baby. It's my baby and it's Fonnie's baby. And he says, I just want you to, because you're so young. And he's worried about her and he's concerned and he cares. And I was just like so blown away by the compassion and the love in this family. And I just mourned the loss of ever having anything like that going on in my life when I found out I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to whittle it down. I still got 3 pages. I'm not going to read it all. And I tried to just find little pieces, but it's such a sweet story, and it's so kind. And just like when I had neighbors who lived next door to me for a little while, and they were Nigerian or something. And they had these 2 kids, and the kids yelled a lot. They screamed and cried. I never heard these people raise their voice to these children. They talked to them calmly. They calmed them down. They patted them, and they made and I was like so blown away. I like this is not my experience. I never had that. Why can't everybody be like that? Think about how few psychological problems there would be in the world if we had more parents like this and like that who were kind and compassionate and loving and sweet and truly concerned about their children and wanted to do the best thing for them. I guess I don't know a lot of people who grew up with that. Most of the people I know had psychological issues in their house. How about you, Bill?
Are you accusing me of psychological
No,
issues here?
I don't-
I
no,
think that's what the accusation.
I could tell you about my mother-in-law,
No. Well, yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You gave me a little bit of information we won't talk about because you didn't want to talk about it in the air about your own situation. So I know with parents that don't yell, parents that have your best interests at heart, and that's one of the things I remember when they told us that God is the Father. I always imagined a mean father, And then I remember them saying, no, it's a father who wants the best for you. I said, but that's a thing? So I guess I'm my worldview is skewed because of how I was
Your
raised.
experience, yeah.
Yeah, and so your mother-in-law, you had a...
Oh, I have mother-in-law stories too.
Oh, okay.
You've heard mother stories.
Yeah.
There's mother-in-law
Oh,
stories.
Oh, I got some of those too.
Oh, yeah. We'll get some tea sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure. So you're not gonna own up to any psychological damage from your family, Bill.
There's probably plenty of it. It's just, I need you people to diagnose it, to diagnose them,
I can
and
point
then
out
I
quite
can,
a bit for him.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I work with Greg and I work together on each other all the time, as far as me trying to undo what his parents did.
Well, yeah, but the change requires acceptance on my part. Now you could tell me anything you and your diagnoses might be correct, but
Yeah.
if you want me to change me, I have to accept them. Now
Yeah.
there's
no. Well, that's but changes. I mean, for Greg, with Greg, every time he's got negative ideas about himself, I explain to him that he's wrong. And the same thing. I mean, he does the same thing with me. Like, look at this and look at that. You've got these good qualities and these good qualities. So what if you dropped your phone in the toilet? That doesn't mean you're a bad person. Because
It means I'm not using the phone.
that was an example. It wasn't a true example. But so I tend to beat myself up a lot. But anyway, Richard, we have 4 minutes and 23 seconds. What's the last thing you want to talk about?
I like the website called Reddit. Are you familiar with that?
I've heard about it. I've never been on it.
It's sort of like anybody can bring up a subject, and other people will comment on it,
Oh, that's just right up your alley.
and then you develop clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a Game of Thrones club and things
And
like
there's probably
that.
conflict in those clubs.
Probably.
You love it, don't you?
No, I don't. I follow the poetry one.
Okay.
So the amateur poets on Reddit are now writing poems about the cold weather.
Ah,
And I've been reading them, and this is my favorite one so far.
okay.
The mercury has plummeted into some godforsaken subarctic abyss. The air isn't just cold, it's predatory.
Ooh.
A crystalline force that lunges for your lungs the moment you step outside. Imagine the poor bastards who have to wait for the bus at 6 a.m. I watch my breath hitch in the air like a ghost looking for a way out. The biting wind is a brutally honest thing. I tremble like a disgraced prophet, reflecting on the inevitable ice that will one day claim the stars themselves. To shiver is to finally understand the depths of existence.
That's good.
Now, how do we find out if AI really wrote it?
That's
know.
true. You don't know. I mean, I've read things about Reddit, and I didn't know there were like groups like that.
Yeah.
But I know it doesn't last. It doesn't stay up forever, does it?
Oh, it stays up a real long time because it'll say sometimes from 3 years
Oh,
ago, from
really?
4 years ago.
I thought it was something like it was only stay up 30 days or something like that.
When I do a Google search and I end up in Reddit, I always back out.
Or you don't go for it.
Well, because it's usually opinions as opposed to facts.
True. Somebody's
Well, a lo-
phone is
a lot.
affecting your microphone.
A lot is a lot is opinion and not fact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're gonna get that all over the Facebook, all over. I'm not on anything else. I'm not on Instagram, but I have about 25 followers. I only went on one time because I wanted to see a post somebody had sent me.
Yeah.
So I made a little thing. I got like 25 followers and I've never posted anything. So I don't know where they're coming from. I keep getting notifications that I've got another follower on Instagram. I guess they want me to do something. I don't want to do that. I got enough stuff to do. My life is busy.
Well, usually if you get a note or if you see something and you're like, oh, I know that person, you'll follow.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, a lot of times it's an accidental, find.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not always a stalker, but do not rule out stalkers.
That's right. Yeah. I always, whenever I get one of those people that comment, oh, I'm always so intrigued by what you say and your posts. And I'm like, yeah. And what country are you in? And
Yeah.
how much money did you want? So now we have only 54 seconds. Okay, so thank you, Richard, once again for facilitating this, and Jill and Bill for coming out in this cold weather to join me
Thank you for
with
having
this.
us.
And
Rob and Lori.
Rob and Lori, my people writing in, and of course Tom, my son, who is my drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for joining us, whoever's out there, and I
See
will
you on Valentine's Day at the Ukrainian
Oh yeah,
Post.
at the Ukrainian Center.
Yeah,
Come,
Bad Ronald's
come see
playing.
Bad Ronald. You'll like it, or else.
Something like that.
Yeah. Thank you. And okay, what, we're gonna do a countdown. No, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.